Hey everybody, it's Maggie and welcome back to This or That. Today's video is going to be what's on my iPhone. You've probably seen these videos, they seem to be pretty popular, but I thought this would be fun because a couple of weeks ago I actually sat down to film a video about my favorite apps, and it just sort of dawned on me after I had filmed it and started editing it that people are not really that interested in apps these days, and maybe you are, which is sort of why I'm doing this video, but I didn't want it to solely be about apps. I wanted this to sort of be a video where you can learn a little bit about me and the apps that I use all at once. I think it's a little bit more personable, it's a little bit more fun because we're going through my whole phone and just seeing what apps I use on a daily basis. So let's jump into it. Oh, and by the way, I got this video idea from a girl named Sarah Emily that I found reading some comments on somebody else's YouTube video. So she's the reason I'm making this video, so shout out to her. So the front page, this is primarily made up of all the apps that come on the phone, but this is also where I move the apps that I use most often, and I'm super type A, as I've mentioned before, and so I've actually moved apps to where like my finger, because I hold my phone like this when I use it, and so I've moved apps to like the bottom right corner where it's easiest for me to click. The app that gets that coveted position on my homepage is Instagram. This is my time killer when I'm just waiting around for something. I'll flip through Instagram. Yeah, you know how it works. I'm not a huge Instagrammer. I'm more of like an Insta looker. Anyway, really like the Instagram app. I also have YouTube on my homepage because if I'm like waiting in a doctor's office or on a road trip or something when I'm not driving, of course, I'll pop open YouTube and catch up on the latest. I also have Netflix on the front and Spotify. For those of you who don't know about Spotify and you're a big music person,
where have you been? What are you doing? Get Spotify right now.
Spotify is $9.99 per month, but you do now have to pay taxes on it. It's the best $10 I spend every month. I mean, I listen to music going to work, I listen to music when I'm at work. It's so searchable, like you just pop it open and you have access to every song. So it's not like you have to have this extensive iTunes library and you have to go out and buy individual songs that you like for like $1.29.99 a piece. Spotify just gives everything to you at your fingertips. They also have podcasts, they also have, oh gosh, a lot of things. Like make your own playlist, follow pre-made playlist, follow your friends, see what they're listening to. I could go on forever. And I feel like Spotify is really old, so I will not continue to go on, but anyway, that's on my homepage because I use it all the time. Google Maps, I've actually traded out Apple Maps for Google Maps because I think it's better. I think that the little arrow that tells you where you're going updates a lot quicker than it does on Maps because I feel like Maps is just like really slow moving and I'm terrible at reading a map. So I really rely on that arrow to tell me where I'm going, and so that was my deciding factor. It's also linked to my Google account, and so if I search something on my work computer and then I go to get in my car later, it'll pop up that recent search so I won't have to type it back in. So it's all sort of synchronized, which I really like. So moving on to page 2. Back to page 1 because I forgot one. The Amazon Alexa app, I actually have an Echo Dot. I don't use it a whole lot because I haven't really researched all the features and everything. If you have an Echo Dot or Amazon Echo, let me know what your favorite things to do with it are because I'm a little at a loss. Every morning it tells me the weather and it reads me the news. And I know that you can customize the news that it delivers to you, but NPR is the default, so I typically just go with like NPR news. But yeah, I know that you can also play Jeopardy with Alexa, so if you're sort of a quiz buff or something and you live alone, that could be something really fun. Still exploring that, but that's also on my homepage for some reason. I don't know how I got that coveted position. But moving on to page 2, I have a Walgreens app at the top that's really jumping out at me. This is really great if you're a drugstore shopper because you can clip coupons straight to the app and they can scan that. So you don't even have to keep up with a card because it's all on the app, which is really nice. And then I have an extras folder. And so in this I have, it's sort of like the reject apps that come loaded on the phone, like the compass, the Tips app, which is actually really cool. Every time you update your phone, make sure you check out the Tips app because it's going to show you how to work all of the new features in your phone so you're not missing out on something that might be really useful. Find My iPhone, again, not something that you use a whole lot, and my Reject Maps app. And this is also where I keep all of my airline apps for some reason, and how those go together I do not know. But I have Southwest, American, Fly Delta, and I also have another folder called Entertainment. I don't really love folders because it's sort of hard to like see everything and find everything, but rather than having like a million pages of apps, I do find that it actually is useful, so I go ahead and use it. So I also have an entertainment folder, and in that I have IMDb, and this app is so helpful. I never thought that I would use it as much as I do, but if I'm watching something, TV show or movie, and I'm like, what did that person play in? It's not like a, this is gonna kill me until I figure it out, because I have the answer right at my fingertips. If you're a movie buff or TV watcher, this app is for you. And next to that, I also have an app called Flixster. This is just sort of my go-to app if I want to go see a movie. This tells me all the theaters in my area after you type in a zip code, and it also tells you the movie times. So that's really helpful. I don't see that many movies, and when I do, I'm typically seeing them at like an Alamo Draft House or the movie theaters where you get to go have like dinner and a movie. And for those, you pay for your tickets up front. So I'm typically searching it on that website. Maybe I should see if they have an app. I don't know if they do. For those of you that go to traditional movie theaters, Flixster is a really good one to have. Pinterest, the glitchiest app on the face of the planet. I swear every single time there's an update, I'm like, maybe this will help, and it doesn't. Also have the Kindle app, because I used to use my Kindle religiously, but now I'm just sort of like back to the traditional book scene. So don't use that a whole lot. I also have a game called Charades, and this is the knockoff version of the game called Heads Up, where you like hold the phone on your forehead like this, and then the group of people that you're with is trying to describe the word that's on your phone, and when you get it, you tilt it down and a new word pops up, and if you get it wrong, you tilt it back, and it keeps score. Anyway, it's really fun. It got me through a lot of long lines at Disney World. Amazon Prime Video, just in case. Again, don't use this a whole lot because I'm typically watching YouTube or Netflix, but it's good to have since I am a Prime member. And then I have Facebook Classic. Facebook Messenger app. I think it's still so weird that they've separated these two things. I don't know why that was extremely necessary, but anyway, they do. Every single time you get like a new friend, it tells you like, you can now chat with them, and I'm like, no. I also have our Disney World app in there. This is something that when you do travel to Disney World, it's awesome to have because it shows you the wait times at every single ride in every park. You can make reservations through this app. What was another big thing? Oh, how I forgot about this is beyond me, but you can actually pick your fast passes throughout the day through the app, which is awesome. It has maps of everything too, so if maybe it's your first time and you're trying to figure something out, you can get maps on the app and figure out where you are in each park. We found that extremely helpful on our Disney trip, and so it's just called Disney World. If you type that in the App Store and download it, it could be yours. And then I have a services folder. And these are all, by the way, when you make a folder, if you don't have them, and you start like dragging apps together, it automatically names these folders. These are all services. Like, I do agree with the name. You can rename them if you want something a little bit more creative, but just a heads up if you've never used folders. But I have Uber, use Uber all the time. And I have Lyft. Now this is a pro tip for those of you who live in bigger cities where both of these like rideshare services operate. Always price shop before you go with like one app or another. The price difference can be so great. For example, I was trying to get to the airport the other day and I opened up Uber and it was gonna be $10, and I opened up Lyft and it was gonna be $21. The prices could be dramatic. And so how they determine the price on it is basically how many drivers are available in your area. They'll issue these surge prices when maybe there aren't a lot of drivers, but there is high demand. You're gonna pay a little bit more to use that rideshare app. Anyway, there's no way to tell which one's gonna be cheaper, so keep both on your phone if you have both. It saved me so much money, I can't even begin to tell you. Also, another pro about Lyft though, before I move on, is that they have promo codes way more often than Uber does. You get a lot fewer of those with Uber. I find that their deals primarily relate to airport rides. So if you're a traveler and you're traveling a lot, definitely subscribe to the Uber emails because you might get discounts on those airport rides, which are really expensive if you have to like pay a toll fee or take a toll road to get to your airport. I also have the Prime Now app. This is only available in certain cities, but what this is you order something on Amazon and they deliver it to you within a couple of hours. It's pretty awesome. We use it at work a lot because we're not paying for it. Anyway, it's really cool. I also have Favor. This is like an on-demand food delivery service. So you can actually type in any restaurant that's in your area and Favor will deliver it. They have some restaurants with their menus preloaded and it's a lot easier because you just click on the item and it automatically loads it. But if the restaurant's not on the app, no problem. You just type in the name and you type in the item and you can make modifications to it too, like no lettuce, no tomato, whatever. and they deliver it. And I think it's a $5 delivery fee plus taxes and a tip. So you do pay a premium to use it, but it can be really helpful. If you live in a bigger city, you might see at like different parking areas a little sign with green tiny little squares, and what that is a pay by phone symbol. And so this way you download the app, and when you park somewhere, you just type in your space number on your phone and you pay through the app, rather than going to a stall and like inserting your card and getting your parking ticket and putting it in your windshield. This way you pay online, and so the person monitoring that lot has evidence of like your tag number and everything that you've put into the app. So you don't have to worry about like getting a boot on your car because you walked away with your little like parking display ticket, which I've definitely done before. All right, so still on the second page, but not within the folders, I have some really, like, these are some of my most used apps ever. The only sort of preloaded apps are FaceTime and Podcast. The rest are apps that I've downloaded personally and use all the time, like Snapchat. Obviously, that's just a social media app that you've probably heard about. So the app that you need to grab your phone and download right this very second while I'm explaining it to you is Slice. This is perfect for the online shopper out there, because what this does is it tracks all of your packages. It tells you when they're shipped, when they're out for delivery, and you get a notification when your package is delivered. So if you're somebody that maybe works weird hours and you don't get home early enough to pick up your packages and you're worried that it might get stolen, this gives you a notification that your package has been delivered, and maybe you can call your neighbor to go bring it inside. This is also something that just allows you to not have to sift through your email, you know, and like
Open up the email, go to the website, click the tracking number.
or even worse,
It's one of the websites that's not partnered with UPS or the Postal Service, and so you actually have to go in and type in that like 16-digit tracking number.
this app also gauges price changes, and this is the coolest feature. Although I don't know how to make it work for everything, but I had this one situation where I had bought like 3 different items from J. Crew, and it was like, Maggie, we've seen a price drop in this item. Do you want to contact the merchant? And I was like, sure. And it pre-formulated an email with my order number and everything, requesting a refund for the difference. Within, I don't know, a day or so, I had a refund from that company from the email that I had sent to them. It was awesome. So not only does it track your packages, but it also can get you price drops. The next app is the Ebates app. And if you don't have Ebates by now and you're subscribed to me, what are you doing?
Go use Ebates. Sign up. I'll include a link in the description box below.
This is a site that allows you to shop through them and get percentage cash back on your items that you were going to buy anyway. So why not get a little bit of money back when you're already doing the online shopping that you do all the time? So the Ebates app is really handy because you can, check to see what the percentage cash back is all the time, but they also have specific app deals. So sometimes the percentage cash back will be higher when you purchase through the app than it would be online, which is nice. And also it has a feature that if you maybe forget to use Ebates, or maybe you went through the app and closed out of that window and opened it up somewhere else, it won't penalize you for accidentally not shopping through their site. You can go in and put your order number, and it's in a section called Where's My Cash Back? They'll say, oh, thank you for letting us know your number. We'll make sure that your cash back is processed now. I also have the Ulta and Sephora app. Sephora also does use this promo code that's only offered through an in-app purchase. I also have the Target app, not to be confused with the Cartwheel app. I don't really know why I keep the Target app around, I guess just in case. The Target app is pretty much the Target website in an app form. Cartwheel is where I go to get my deals and my percentage cash back on certain items that you can search in the store and add to your coupon list, and then you can just scan the app once you go to checkout. But I also have Sporcle, and this is just a quiz app. It has a ton of quizzes. We usually do this at work at 3 o'clock every day as a little brain break. Anyway, it's nice to have on your phone. I don't play a whole lot of games. I like these quizzes and trivia and stuff, and so this is a good alternative for me. And I also have, Truebill. This is something that I've recently discovered, and this is for those of you who have a lot of subscriptions. So I talked about Spotify earlier. That's a monthly charge of $10. I'm also a Prime member, so that's an annual membership, so I really only pay that once a year. But I also have insurance, and I also have HelloFresh. And so that's another app I have on here is HelloFresh. That sort of shows you the menus and the meals, and you can edit what actually comes in your box each week through the HelloFresh app. But back to Truebill. This tracks all of your subscriptions. And this has been really nice because recently I was paying for my insurance monthly. This alerted me and it was like, we see that you have this recurring insurance payment and we actually think that it could be lower. Click here to explore different priced options. And so I clicked there, and through the app I was able to go to a bunch of different insurance sites sort of at once and get quotes for my insurance. So it was really helpful because it let me know I was paying too much per month for that, and I actually switched insurance providers. It also reminds you of things that you might have forgotten about. All you do is type in your credit card number or your credit card login information, really, so that it can track to see like what the charges are on your card. Or if you're paying things like directly out of your bank account, you can link your bank account. This is a great way to track and remind yourself of what you're paying for monthly. And this could be your internet bill, this could be your cable bill, and it can suggest ways for you to lower those. So I think Truebill is my new favorite utilitarian app that I have. Also have the LinkedIn app and the CVS Pharmacy app. CVS Pharmacy app is very similar to Walgreens, as I explained earlier. It allows you to go in and clip coupons and then scan it right from your phone. So again, that's one less card for you to keep up with. I also have the Hautelook app. And so what Hautelook is, if you're not familiar with it, it's a website where vendors sort of partner with them to mark down their mostly expensive high-end items for a limited period of time. So it's sort of a flash sales site. And for the last page, we already talked a little bit about Cartwheel, but that's what I keep on this page. Every single time I go to Target, which is probably once a week, I go in and let's say I need Kleenexes or something. I'll go in and search tissue, and I'll just end up buying the one that has the biggest markdown. So if it's like 20% off Puffs, I'll buy the Puffs brand rather than the Kleenex brand to save a little extra money. Also have the Xfinity Stream TV because I personally don't have cable. I actually use an antenna that I got off of Amazon, and it works great. I get ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS. I get ABC, and that's really all I care about because I watch Dancing with the Stars, I watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, and I watch Good Morning America. And everything else I can get through Netflix, Hulu, or I can get through Amazon. So I don't really need cable, but my parents have been so gracious as to share their login with me on Xfinity, and so I can actually watch live TV through that app if there's something that I'm just dying to see. I also have the Houseparty app. I have a group of 5 friends. I know I talk about them all the time, but this is the way that we sort of all FaceTime together at once, because I don't think that the Apple FaceTime has that capability unless I just don't have the latest update. I have the She Reads Truth app. This is like a daily devotional app, but I really just prefer to get the email from them because you actually have to purchase the plans through the app, but you can get them free via email, depending on the plan. So just a heads up on that. Anyway, I hope that this was fun and that you learned a little bit more about some apps that can sort of help you out. Maybe if anything sounded interesting, I can go into more detail about them. Just ask me in the comments below. Please subscribe if you haven't already and like this video if you liked it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.